Adou Thiero is heading to LA. The Arkansas wing was selected with the 36th overall pick. Now gets to team up with Bron and Luca, joining a unit that has featured a decent amount of like wings in this sort of archetype recently. Whether you look at Dorian Finney-Smith, you look at Rui Hachimura, you could even go back to Troy Brown before that, Cam Reddish, like these types of toolsy wings. I know those latter two didn't exactly pan out. Maybe I shouldn't mention those two names because I actually want the Lakers fans to be excited about this. I'm a big Thiero believer. I think obviously the jumper is a huge concern. Only 11 makes this past year, but the first step, the athleticism is crazy. Like elite, top of the line athlete in college this past year. The on-off numbers defensively for him at Arkansas this year were stark. They were so much better with him defensively on the court, which I think portends well for that part of his game to translate to. Dion, where are you at with Thiero? Is he someone who you believe in? What are some of his skill sets that stick out to you? And how do you think he could fit in with this Lakers team?
I believe in him on the Lakers. I think he's actually gonna play the five. I think he's gonna play the five for them because I they have Braun, they have Luca, they have a lot of size.
Come on,
Braun,
he's
Luca,
he's like
Reed.
6'8" in shoes. He can't play a five.
He can't play if he's not though. He can't
Yeah,
shoot.
he can get there. He can handle. Like
But
if
they
you
don't have time for him to get there. That's the thing. Is like we don't have time to wait on second round picks. Like you're going to come in, you're going to play the role that you can fit into, and if you can't succeed within that role, you better be developing off like somewhere. You know what I mean to play the role you need. But he won't touch he can't touch the court with a Luca who's like Luca can shoot, but like Luca's not like a deadly 3-point shooter. Braun can shoot. Braun's not a deadly 3-point shooter. Rui can shoot, but again, you're leaving Rui wide open. Reeves is in the same boat where it's like Reeves can shoot, but also not like crazy deadly. This team has shooting on it, but they don't have like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson
Mhm.
like type shooting where it's like don't leave him open. So you need to have shooters all across the court, or you're five, right? Show me a lineup for the Lakers where they didn't have multiple shooters around Braun and Luca with a center who could just jump out the building. I think that's where Adou Thiero fits in at the center position. I think you play Braun at the four with Rui. The three of them have to crash the glass together. Same with Luca. I think Adou Thiero is going to be able to protect the rim to the best of his ability. But the Lakers switch everything, he's even regardless of the position. Like he might be defending fives, he might be defending threes, he might be defending ones. There is no just sit in the paint rim protector the way under JJ Redick's scheme anyway. So I don't think he's going to start by any means, but I think his minutes will be at the five for the Lakers, and I think there's a world he gets to play quickly because they haven't really added anybody. I
They
don't know
still
what
don't
their
have a
plan is.
center. Rui Hachimura is still the center. I think like the reason why you saying they'll play him at the five, I'm like, come on, man, that's not gonna happen. It's just like Rui at the center was such a failure against the Wolves in the playoffs. It just felt like they got gashed at the rim so much. And I think, I mean, obviously at this point, Rui is a better version of Thiero in terms of his, he's got more muscle to him. He's been in the league for however long now. Like he's got the seasoning behind it, and it still didn't work. And to me, I look at Thiero more so like Jared Vanderbilt the musical. That's a Greg Waddellism when he said that Doug McDaniel was Marquise Noel the musical. Where I'm like, if this is there's a lot of similarities between these two players, and it's not just that they played under Calipari. I think the defensive, the ability to, I will say they both play bigger than they are with Vando and with Thiero. And Thiero at the point of attack, his ability to come up with steals. He has such good instincts off ball at creating havoc that I would say is very Vanderbilt-esque. But I would even say, well, I'm going to contradict myself because I just called him Jared Vanderbilt the musical. I think his offensive upside is still a little bit higher. I get the jumper is a concern, but you get him the ball on a reversal and he gets to the hoop in like 2 steps and makes it look so easy because of that athleticism, because of that burst. His free throw percentage was okay 2 years ago. He shot like close to 80% from the line. It's just this past year at Arkansas, he made 11 threes at a 27% clip or something. But I I like the roll on this, the dice roll here, and I think he even if let's say he doesn't get there with LeBron, LeBron might not be LeBron for more than 2 more years. Maybe he gets there with Luca.
If he doesn't get there with Braun, he won't be on the team.
That's a fair point.
So
You
that's the thing. That's
You
the thing
think
about
Braun is
these
still doing
candidates.
that though? You think Braun still wields that much power that he can say like, "Yo, go trade this guy"? Yeah,
No,
he does. He could.
I don't think he does. I also don't think like Adou Thiero's like trade value is going to be like crazy high to where like teams are going to be knocking down the door for Braun to trade Adou. Um, you don't get that much time. You really, really don't get that much time in the league. You have a few years to figure it out. If you don't, so they'll find somebody else that will.
Hmm.
Um, or they'll roll the dice with somebody else. They're not going to keep rolling the dice with the Duke Thiero for years on years. So I that's why I say he's going to have to play the five. He's going to have to play it quickly because that's how you can envision him in the league right now. Um, Respectfully to him, like 25% three-point shooter. Vanderbilt pretty much played himself off the court as a 28, 29 three-point shooter from a farther distance. So, like Vanderbilt was unplayable, but also still a better shooter than you. That's tough, right? Like that's tough. And I think he has to play the five. That's the difference between him and Vandos. I do believe he can play the five. Vanderbilt played himself off the court because they needed like wings that can shoot around Braun and Luca. Adou Thiero doesn't need to necessarily do that because he also has the ability to play the five. But
Hmm.
I don't know. He doesn't have a ton of time. I do hope he's able to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. Good pickup. I'm a big believer in the ceiling. I would have taken Thiero in the first round. We're obviously at odds on where we see him fitting in, but I think he can get on the court regardless.